Greetings, my name is Fletcher Maique. I'm the group facilitator of Group 4, also known as Logos Kiergaardkie. Here in this video presentation, you are going to witness our research being discussed through the process of Chapter 1, the problem and scope. To emphasize, and also to be specific, in Chapter 1, the problem and scope, there are parts and subparts. With those parts and subparts, it allows individuals to know deeply and at the same time, briefly, the research all about. As you can see in your screen in front of you right now, that is a research title. The research is entitled Students' Perception on Anxiety in Online Learning. Throughout the course of this video, you can know briefly what the research is all about. Here in this very specific part of the PowerPoint presentation, this is the list of all the group members within this designated group, the Group 4, Logos Kiergaardkie. Of course, I already introduced myself earlier. I am Fletcher Maique. I am the group facilitator. But aside of that, in this group, there is a assistant facilitator. That is Bandajon Shyder. So let's go to the part of group leaders. In the group leaders part, division, we have Cabilo Ana Gail, Sarmiento Crane J, Itang Hazel, Ikalina Sheena, Villa Alia, and lastly, Zosa Jefferson. Chapter 1, Problem and its Scope. Introduction and Problem, Part 1 and Part 2. Once again, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Fletcher Maique. If you can, I have brought a name tag here. If you can see it clearly, then it's good. You have a good eyesight, and well done. Here I am going to discuss the specific part of the research, which is the rationale of the study. Here in this PowerPoint presentation slide, you can see 4 bullets, but let's disregard and exclude first the research gap because I will discuss that later. First, we need to discuss the 3 bullets first. On that 3 bullets, it consists important sentences that you will find in our rationale and the exact definition of our targeted phenomenon, which is anxiety. In the first bullet, it's simply stated because it's simply stated that aside the economical aspect that the COVID-19 pandemic has inflicted towards our society, there is also more than the economical aspect, and that is the psychological aspect that includes anxiety, and that connects to our study. So the second bullet, it stated that unquestionably, even with that pandemic, that is true, still this kind of human occurrence happen, and when that includes the unexpected change against human way of living, then there must be a problem that may arise. And lastly, the definition of anxiety according to our findings. Anxiety, in very simplest form, anxiety is a human response that denotes to the factor of fear and hope. Now let's go towards the direction of explaining and expounding the research gap and research purpose of this study to the fashion of rational of the study. You cannot call rational of the study a rational study if you don't include research gap and research purpose, because that's the requirement of making a rationale of the study. So now let's focus on the PowerPoint presentation slide that is being presented. So there is the fourth bullet. It says the research gap. Now after that, there is a parenthesis. So that means it emphasizes that this is the paraphrase and reconstruction version of the original sentence of the original rationale that you can find in the output that is being submitted. So here it says, as much as the global and international case of the basis of anxiety in pertaining online learning medium is approximately same from each other. So in the rational there is a global context and international context. In the global context, there is a issue of inadequacy. Thus, the student that is born in a family who is not so fortunate will experience anxiety. The same with the international context. There is still a issue of inadequacy. Now, the question arises: what are the other 40 reasons, aspects, and factors that led students to experience anxiety inward to this type of learning environment? At last, we come to arrive on the part of explaining and expounding the research purpose of this study to the fashion of rational. Why do I always say the fashion of rational? So now let's continue. In this part, I am not going to expound it and explain it further as the research purpose statement. As you take a look at the PowerPoint slide, it is already self-evident and self-evident, self-apparent, and self-explanatory. So, the research purpose statement states that the aim of this research is to identify and determine the reasons of the occurrence of anxiety in online learning environment, and being that as an aim, thereupon the conveying of useful essential measures in managing anxiety. Now, the question is, why managing? Why not eliminating? So, as we all know, I think all knows that anxiety is a natural phenomenon. Everybody do experience anxiety. So, speaking of natural, you cannot change it, or you cannot alter it, as it is how things work. That's why it's more fitting and more appropriate to associate the notion of providing useful essential measures with managing. Next part of rational the study is the theoretical background, and the guy who will be tackling that matter is Bandajon Shyder.
I am Shyder, I'm the one who discuss all about data gathering procedure, and the title of our research paper is all about perception of students on anxiety in online learning education. In our study, we measure more information and variables of interest in and establish systematic fashion that enables one to answer stated research questions, test hypotheses, and evaluate outcomes.
Good day everyone, I am Kiergaardkie Sarmiento, and I'm here to tackle about the review of related literature of our research. This part of the chapter presents the related literature reviewed by the researchers. These are from books, journals that are relevant to the reasons and solution of students' perception anxiety in online learning. In this research of Shyam Unger and William Mayran postulated that students from conventional type of learning that have been suddenly shift in the direction of online type of learning, that the online type of learning due to COVID-19 pandemic would turn out to be different in the comparison to the conventional one, which lead to the existence of anxiety in an online learning at the beginning of the semester.
Hi, my name is Kiergaardkie and this is my name tag. So I am discussing about the statement of the problem. So statement of the problem helps the reader to introduce the importance of the problem that is being studied. Also, readers is oriented to the significance of the study with these following questions. And for us researchers to address the main topic of our research. As you can see, there are two questions that is aimed to answer. Here in our statement problem is to determine the perceptions in every student's anxiety in online learning as a mode of teaching at the University of Cebu main campus, Senior High School Department, year 2020 to 2021. Next researcher is Hazel Itang, and she is discussing about the significance of the study.
Hi, I'm Hazel May Itang, as you can see here. Today I'll be discussing the significance of the study. The beneficiaries of this research are students, teachers, parents, and school administrators. The first bullet is student. The student assuredly will benefit from this research for the purpose that it will help them view anxiety as a subject matter that demands a proper recognition and assistance. The second bullet is teacher. This would help the teachers in determining students with anxiety and that they can help them in fighting anxiety with the guide of the teacher. The third bullet is parent. They will benefit from this paper to guide them into the state of realization of what possibly be the child undergo in engaging the online way of classes as they parent through this research all the way through. The fourth bullet is school administrator. They will benefit from this paper to acknowledge themselves the importance of the student psyche in online learning, leading to the conclusion that they will create an assessment in regarding to the student well-being. And the next part will be discussed by Jefferson Dosa, which is scope and limitation.
What's up, guys? My name is Jefferson Zosa. I brought a name tag here. There you go. That's my name, bro. Remember that name. I will be talking about scope and limitations in our research. So I'll begin, bro. The research is dealing with students' perception on anxiety in online learning. So yeah, the researchers would only recruit 10 students for the exclusive purpose of using these as a respondent of the research. So yeah, we will use a respondent, bro. The required standard and qualification of nominating students to be a informant of the research is that the said nominated students must be at least grade 11 and more, preferably grade 12. So yeah, it's all said in here, bro. Furthermore, the respondents' answers to the interview are gathered together by the researchers to satisfy the questions asked in this study. So that is the wrap.
Chapter 1 Methodology and Definition of Terms, Part 3 and Part 4.
Hi, I am Vilia Alia, and I'm here to discuss about the research design. On this part of the PowerPoint presentation, it is stated that this research employs a phenomenological, qualitative research design. In this case, phenomenology is a form of a qualitative research that focuses on the study of an individual's life experience in the world. For the next part is research environment, which will be discussed by Ikalina.
I'm Sheena Ikalina, and I'm going to discuss about research environment. So first, what is research environment? A research environment is underpinned by a pair of culture and integrity based on good governance, best practice, and supports for the developments of researchers. According to the senior high school students and University of Cebu main campus that the senior high students conducted due to its preferred researchers to find instruments for the research study. The second paragraph stated that presently our world's status in the midst of COVID-19 pandemic, in that way, public nor private institutes won't allow students to go to school. As a result of that, respondents and researchers would meet in a virtual fashion of campus.
Hello there. Greetings. Again, I'm going to introduce myself again. My name is Fletcher Maique. As you can see in my name tag, prescribe using marker. You can see. Good. So, as I already discussed the part of rational study on this presentation, here again I will be going to discuss the research informant in the within the part of research methodology, because research informant is part of research methodology. So what is research informant? So research informant is a technique, method, and approach of selecting, recruiting, selecting or recruiting informants, respondents, or participants in your study to be you because you are going to recruit informants in order to understand the research more deeply or deeply. Yeah, that's the right thing. So what is this our research informant? So our research is using the research purpose purposive sampling technique. So here in this bullet as you can see in the PowerPoint presentation slide, this bullet is dedicated on what is the purposive sampling technique. So in concerning towards the identification of the research sampling technique, a purposive sample also refers to as judgmental because you are going to choose informants in a judgmental way. Or expert sample is a type of non-probability sample which the main objective is to produce a sample that can be logically assumed to be a representative of the population. The next presenter is Shyder Bandajon on research instrument.
Hi, I'm Shyder, I'm the one who discusses all about research instrument. And the title in our study, we must be scientific and systematic tools which are designed in order to help in our research group to collect data on his or her topic of interest, for instance, questionnaire, interview, focus group, or any device used by our research paper. And to collect more information and measuring a given phenomenon can be considered as our research instrument.
In this particular part of research gathering procedure on research methodology part 3, supposed to be Kiergaardkie Sarmiento is the ultimate person who will be discussing on this particular part. Although he forgot, or more accurately, he didn't submit her second task on recording her video. So I guess I'll just leave it like this and make it a day.
Hi, my name is Anagil D. Kabilao and this is my name tag. So I am discussing about the data analysis. Data analysis is the most crucial part in any research. Herein, it involves the interpretation of data gathered through the use of analytical and logical reasoning to determine patterns, relationships, and trends. Also, data analysis is the process of systematically applying statistical and or logical techniques to determine and illustrate, condense and recap, and evaluate data. So the last researchers are Hazel Itang and
The definition of terms is most based upon the research major variables. Roughly speaking, major variables are the things you can see inside the research title and research questions or statement of the problem. The major variables are anxiety, perceived, reasons, possible, and lastly solution.
Thank you for listening to the presentation and have a nice day. Goodbye.